Pablo Emilio Escobar Gaviria was born on December 1st, 1949. Escobar was born in Rio Negro, Colombia, and grew up in Medellin, nearby city. Escobar was the leader of the Medellin drug cartel and accumulated a net worth of more than $30 billion. The cartel was responsible for 80% of the cocaine smuggled into the U.S. before his death. During the rise of the cartel and Escobar, he was viewed as a good man.
Pablo Escobar was, for some population, for some people, like a hero, because especially for poor people, because he was very generous, so he was able to give houses and to food and to give other things to people who didn't, who were in need.
Escobar had such an impact on the Colombian economy and government, nobody dared speak up against him. He even won a seat in parliament in 1982. One of Escobar's main goals for getting into a position of power was to end extradition. Extradition is a process in which governments lawfully make someone return to a country or state of which they have been accused of crime. Escobar was forced out of parliament by the heroic act of Justice Minister Rodrigo Lara Bonilla, who exposed Escobar for being a drug dealer. Lara Bonilla would be assassinated in his limousine on April 30th, 1984. Escobar was blamed but not convicted of the act. The next decade would result in heavy violence between the government and Escobar, as well as other militias and death squads throughout the country.
But also he did a lot of harm. He killed a lot of people. He also, with traffic with the cartel, drugs, illicit business. So it's depend on the views of the population, but like the majority, he did bring harm to the country, and yeah, from others he was really a hero, especially in Medellin, because he was from Medellin and Antioquia, so he really had a big impact in him.
And personally, for you, from the perspective of your families and from yourself, what kind of image did you have of him?
Well, not very positive. Probably I'm in one of the other side of the population that because it's hard as a Colombian to think that, people, the perspective of people is, Colombia is, the drug cartel and the cocaine and this kind of thing. So, no, I don't have personally sympathy for that part. I'm not proud of that, and I was never close to that aspect of of what happened of that history in Colombia. So personally, no. And
Escobar committed many very dangerous acts, killing Attorney General Carlos Mauro Hoyos Jimenez in a kidnapping attempt near Medellin in January of 1988. He is also credited to blowing up a Colombian airliner in November of 1989 and the headquarters of Colombia's intelligence agency, the DAS, a month later. A special police team, the Search Block, was formed to bring in Escobar. Facing extradition to the U.S. on drug charges, Escobar vowed to never surrender, telling a meeting of traffickers, "I would rather have a grave in Colombia than a jail cell in the U.S." With his 80% control over the market, Pablo Escobar could do almost whatever he wanted. With all his cash flow and power, he used his money to build his own prison. Escobar came to an agreement with the Colombian government, to which he would stop selling drugs if he was allowed to imprison himself with his own guards and own policies. The government later discovered that Escobar had never stopped selling drugs. In an attempt to capture Escobar and take him into government hands, Escobar escaped. Upon being on the run, Escobar was shot dead on December 2nd, 1993 in a shootout with Search Block. This ended the 16th-month search effort, which cost the Colombian government millions of dollars. Escobar's work in the cocaine industry can still be seen to this day around the world. Escobar changed the US and Colombian economies in very drastic ways.
Lasting effects. Well, one is the reputation, right? Another thing is also from the economic perspective. All that, like at the beginning could be, it was good, but then when he died and then was not, of course, it's like a boomerang effect.